A little noise from my floor, from my desk. Okay, it says starting here. Let's turn the countdown timer off and get to this. So, good evening and welcome everybody on another Saturday evening. It's 7:30 p.m. here in Germany, and thanks for tuning in my live stream again. I know some of you guys have already been here, and before we start and I talk about what we're going to do today, I want to have a short preview what's going on next week. My friend Richie told me, hey, tell the people, tell the audience what you are doing and what kind of music you are doing, so you can attract the right people, because I never know what kind of music are you doing and if what I'm doing here appeals to you or is a valid information for you. I believe that the basic information, how to mix, how to produce, how to use your plugins, is valid for all kind of genres. Next, this is the preview for people who are just coming in. This is only the preview, not the end of the live stream today. Next Saturday at 7:30 German time, I will be making a hip hop beat, and so that means I will also use Cubase plugins only. We'll show you some tips and tricks. I will show you how you can flip or chop a sample in Groove Agent, how you use 808 drums in Cubase. There are already some 808 sounds in Cubase. Most people think there are no 808 sounds in Cubase, but there are. But you were looking at the wrong place, maybe. Yeah, there I'll show you where they are. We'll make a beat. It's more a classic beat. It will not be Lex Luger trap beat, something like this. It will be more a classic R&B type of beat. And let's see how this turns out next week. So, what's going on for tonight? I'm going to mix a song in 60 minutes. Some of you have already been to the live stream, know what it is. It's, maybe you heard it in the intro, it's from the Funky Dogs. Place to Go, it's a brass band. And it was recorded at the Telefunken studio. Telefunken, the microphone manufacturer in the US. There was recording some bands, and you can download the stems or the tracks from their website. And thank you to Telefunken. And you can also find video from this recording session in YouTube. Just look for Funky Dogs, Place to Go, and Telefunken Electroacoustic. And what I'm going to do is I'll show you how to mix live drums without samples. A lot of mixers or engineers I see on YouTube, when they're mixing, they grab samples, even if they have recorded live drums, and I will show you how much you can achieve. We'll address the main problems you have with live drums, phase problems, and how to correct them, how to use the detect silence function in Cubase, and how to use the multi-band transient shaper. This is one of the underrated and overlooked functions in Cubase. Then I will mix the horns as a group, the vocals as a group, and at the end I will show you some fake mastering. Whenever you mix something for your clients and you give them a CD, a WAV file, or MP3, you should give them a fake mastered version so it sounds more like the ready mastered version. So I want to show you how you can do that fake mastering, or what am I using as a fake mastering. Okay, so let's get over to Cubase. This is it. What I did before, I did nothing special. I just imported the WAV files. I color coded the WAV files here. So my drums are red, the percussion is green, the horns are, I think it's some orange, and this is some kind of blue for the vocals. The only thing I have now in my mixer is in the stereo bus, I have the brick wall limiter. And I'm using this brick wall limiter to avoid that I overload the output and you get distortion on the OBS on your live stream. And everything is set to 0. This is what you heard before. And I'm going to start with the live drums. The first thing I always do when I start with the mixing is I put them together in a group. So in this case, I just take this, go add track, group channel to selected channels. I call this drums. So if I have this create outside the folder, then it will be outside the group folder and it will appear here below the drum track. So add track. This is what you have here, so you can solo or mute the drums with one. I do the same with the percussion. So percussion and to the horns. So the interesting part is that the horn players have microphones for their horns, and also each one of them has a microphone for singing. So we have the vocals, and sometimes I also had horn player singing over their horn microphone, or trumpet player singing into their trumpet microphone. If the sound is okay, you can use that, no big thing, especially when you have a live show or a live band. Okay, in this case now what I do, I start with the drums. So what I can do here is I mute the percussion, mute the horns, and mute the vocals. And let me start with stressing and explaining what's called as phase correlation or phase problems. If you have a real drum set or a band or multiple instruments recorded with multiple microphones, then the distance between the sound source, your instrument, and the microphone might be different wherever the microphone is. So it can happen that you have a little delay between when the sound arrives on one microphone and on the other one. And it's not heard as a delay because it's only 1, 2, or 3 or 4 milliseconds. Sound traveled sound takes 3 milliseconds to travel for 1 meter. So if you are a guitar player and your amplifier is 2 meters away from you, the sound from the amplifier will take 6 milliseconds until it reaches your ear. And especially in drums, you have the problem when you record multiple sources or multiple instruments with the same or with different microphones. In this case, we have a microphone here. We have a kicks in and kick out. This kick in is mostly a microphone inside the kick drum on the front, right inside the front drum head. So you have the beat and everything. Kick out is most of the time at the outside, behind the kick drum, where you have that hole in the drum head. So you have the bass only and not that kick sound from the beater. And what we have here is a snare bottom and snare top. Let me put the top to the top. And this is where the most problem arise in phase correlation. So why does that happen and what does that mean? For those people who are only working with electronic instruments, the snare is the small drum that's standing right before the drummer. It's about that high. And it has a microphone from the top and a microphone from the bottom. Why from the bottom? Because you have a drum head on the top of the snare and a drum head on the back of on the bottom of the snare, and you also have that what's called the snare, or what's like a set of springs that are under the snare, and they give that rattling effect, that high rattling effect when you hit on the snare. So what happens in the snare? The drummer hits the snare from the top. The drum head is moving downwards. You have the microphone above the drum head, and the drum head is moving away from the microphone. The air inside the snare will make the lower drum head, the one that's under the snare, also resonate and move. And this will move also downwards because you have the other microphone below the snare. It will move onto the snare, onto the microphone. That means one drum head is going away from the microphone, the other one is going to the microphone. So if you have a phase that means if you have two waveforms that are not in sync with each other, then it can happen that you have some, not distortion, but some cancellation of frequencies, especially low frequencies. You can see that here. For example, here you see the drum snare top. This is going down, this is going up, and here it's going up and it's going down. So if you play this, you can have some cancellation in the sound. Let me turn it up here. So to address this, we have a function called phase reverse in the Cubase mixer. We have it in the rack here in the pre and filters and gain rack. This is here, and we have the pre here. Oh, come on, like this. And then we go to the snare. This is here, and we take the low one, the microphone on the bottom, and flip the phase by 180 degrees, so that this is only being done when you play back. So that if you look at this here, where are we? That this is going down like this here, and then it adds up. Let me demonstrate it for you. Just play it. Okay. Now we have a... So listen to this, you will hear more bass, more lows in the snare when I turn the phase by 180 degrees. Like this. You hear the low tone. Let me go here. You see this is about 200 Hertz is the fundamental. Now you see this is louder than the other ones. Flip this. And you will see it will go away because it's cancelled. So this is the first one. If you record a snare with multiple or with two microphones, sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't, depending on how the microphones are set up, but it's always worth trying this. The next one is the overhead. There is an overhead microphone that is above the drum set, mostly catching the cymbals, but also catching all the other drums. So in this case, it's also catching the snare. So when you hit the snare and you have the microphone very close to the snare, the sound is also going to the overhead microphone and will take some milliseconds. So if we look at, where is it? The overhead here, and bring it up to the snare and compare these two. So like this. You will see that this one, the low one here, is the overhead is a little behind of the snare top here, because the sound takes a little time to travel up to the microphone. As I said before, it's about 3 milliseconds for every meter you are away from the microphone. And we can also address this just by shifting this a little bit forward, but I cannot do that here because I have all my wave files aligned to the front here, to the top. So I just cut this so that I can shift it. Now zoom in again, like here. Okay. Then I have to turn off the grid up here and then take the overhead and just shift a little bit. But now I have the problem again that on the overhead, this is going, the waveform is going up here and there it's going down. So that means I have to flip now also the phase on the overhead microphone. So let's try this. Let's go here and listen to the drum, the snare. Where do we have it? Snare, overhead. Okay, I have to move that again. Okay, just let's listen. Now I reverse it. So listen to the snare, to the bottom of the snare. Reverse it again. It's very, you know, you hear it has almost no bottom. Now I reverse it again. Now you hear that there is bottom, there's a tone here. So everything is a little bit tighter. This is because it gives some kind of flanging effect because of the 3 milliseconds or 2 or maybe 4 or 5 milliseconds that is delay. And if you address this, you have a tighter sound when you want to address the phase issues here in your arrangement. Go back here. As far as phase, we don't have any more problems here. We have a rack tom and a floor tom. That is, I think, 1 or 2 rack toms he had. There are those drums that are before him, and the floor tom is standing right on the side. So what we can do here is, can we put that? Let me show you. We put that to the side. We are here. And also put that ragtime a little bit with a panorama to the side. Here to the right, and the other one completely to the right. So we have a stereo image. So let's go back. We have the overhead, go in here again. And so I can show you again the difference. I don't have it here. Can you change this? Listen to the snare. This is louder and more prominent. Okay. So this is the first thing you do. The next thing you address is maybe the noise. There's three things you have to have in mind when you mix live drums. The first one is phase cancellation. You don't have to worry about it. If you don't know about it and get a good sound, it doesn't matter. I'm always trying to fix the overhead or shift the overhead a little bit and change the phase on the snare so that it sounds okay or it sounds better. If it doesn't sound better, change it back. No big thing. Then the next thing you have to address is microphone bleed. That means you have several microphones and you've hit one drum, it will be in all the microphones. You can use that by using a noise gate or by using the function here in Cubase called detect silence. I'll show you in a moment. And the third one is you have to address when you mix live drums is inconsistent playing, especially if you don't have a professional player. I worked a lot with students who were in the age of 16, 17, 18, and the drumming was sometimes from the volume, the velocity, all over the place, sometimes louder, sometimes softer. There are dedicated plugins for that, like the drum leveler from Melder Production, but you can also just go here, compress it, then listen to the complete song, listen to how loud the snare is, how loud the bass drum is, if all the hits are the same volume or the volume you want, and then you can automate it, or you just copy it. If there's a weak hit, copy it from somewhere else in the song. So what we try next is we use the function for detect silence for the kick. Okay, so this is the kick drum. Yeah, and the kick drum we have some bleed from other microphones. It's only a bit. So if in and out. So you hear the snare a little bit in the background. It's not so much that you have to address it, but I want to show you how that works in this Cubase function. You select the waveform, you go to Audio, Advanced, Detect Silence. So this is Detect Silence. It will detect the hit points. One thing you have to be careful is when I will show you in a moment, when you start it, here you have the minimum time open is standing default on about 900 milliseconds. So in this case now it detects 114 sections and it will now cut the wave file into individual hits and erase the silence between it. So you can, for example, here you can change the open close threshold. So it detects the hit. And you see here on the right side how many sections it will detect. And you have a pre-roll and a post-roll time. And if you go to process like this, it will look here. And here you see that you have in one part multiple hits, but we want only one hit is what we want. So what I did is you just go here, zoom in, then you take that range tool, and now you go like this. This, yes, this, okay. And here on the left side here, range length, you see how long the individual hit is. Okay. And this is when you start here. This is about 100 milliseconds. So we want that it catches this 100 milliseconds, then it cuts, erases here the silence or the other hits that it detects, and then goes on with the next hit from the bass drum. So I go back and select this one here, Audio, Advanced, Detect Silence. Then here on minimum open, I go to 150. That's the average hit, let's say, 150. Okay. Oh. It's in preview, so it's... Let's go this. Let's go 130. And pre-roll is what's before the hit, and post-roll what's behind the hit. And then we see here on the right side 444 selections were detected. So 444 hits. So we do this process, and then we see, oops, we have the individual hits here. Now there's one problem: you can have some click because it's cut. So what I do here, since, okay, didn't catch it here, since everything is selected here, what I do is I just take this corner, make a little fade in, make a little fade out, so I don't get a click. So I have the individual hits. So this is the inside of the bass drum. And let's go to the second one. We select this again, audio, then advanced, detect silence. So it's a little bit softer, so we have to adjust this here. So we have 3 sections detected, one less. Okay, it doesn't matter. Go to process. This is just only to show you the principle of doing this. And what you can do now, you see it detected all at the same. You just can go scroll through the whole song, and if something missed, like here, you go here, oops, you go here, open this, then because it's already there, it's still there, and then cut this, and you have the hit here. Okay, let's go back and also have here some fade in. Now everything selected, fade in for all, fade out, and that's it. So now you can do the same for the snare if you want. But in this case, it's very hard to do that because the drummer is playing a lot of ghost notes. Ghost notes are these little notes it's doing like the, and these are very hard to detect. You can do that, but in this case, it's better to do that manually. It will take you 1 hour or 2 hours to get through all this song completely. Go here. This is the snare. Go through the snare. Just listen to the snare. Erase everything that's in between. And here you heard, you have to be careful, but you can do that, but you have to do it manually. We're not doing this now because this is just for the demonstration of everything. Okay, go back here. So, good. So this is the first setup of the drums. Let's listen. So, what I also do is, since I have 2 kick drum and 2 snare microphones, I group them also together so I can use this for putting one effect on both channels. I call that kick. Okay, and then I take the snare, track, group track, call that snare. So the next thing I do is I put in my, what I call my mix bus. So I take the kick, the snare, the drums, the percussion. Oh no, it's not the... Okay, the kick and the snare have to go in the routing to the drums bus here. Drums bus. And the snare is here. Go to the drums bus. Then I have everything on drums, percussion, horns, vocals. So I put this, drums, percussion, horns, vocals. And I add a group track now. I call this mix bus. So everything is sent here, and I can use this mix bus then for my fake mastering. So I'm not going directly to the output here, to the stereo. Only the mix bus is going to the stereo. Everything else should go either to one of the buses. It's horns, it's percussion, it's drums. Already kick is going, then kick is to drums, snare is going to snare and then to drums. So I have everything on my mix bus. Good. So first things first, we start with the kick drum. Okay, you know I'm a fan of that span analyzer. That's you can also find this in Cubase when you load the curve EQ. So let's go for the kick first. Let's solo this for a moment. So you see, and this is important for you. Let me hold that. Okay, is it playing? Okay, let me hold that for a moment. The kick drum always has 3 components. The first one is the low kick. Since this is not an electronic kick, but a natural kick, it's not as deep as you know it from your EDM or rap or hip hop or whatever. It's about, the low note is about 50 Hertz. Then you have the first fundamental, which is 1 octave high, is double the frequency. This is about 120 here. And then you have the noise. This is coming from the beta. This is the high sound you need to hear that the kick is there. If you have an 808, for example, that is a sine wave, you will only have that fundamental here and nothing up here. So let me go here for a moment to the kick. To the kick here, because we need that later, to the notepad. Oh, we have 60 Hertz is the fundamental, 120 Hertz is the second one, and it's between 2 and 6K. 2K to 6K for the noise. Why do you need that? You need the low, the very low deep bass for the big speakers, but for the small speakers, you need the first fundamental. These 120 Hertz you will hear on your earpods, small speakers, radio, whatever, and you need this one here for the kick, so you have that kicking high sound. So let's just go to this and listen to this for a moment. Okay. This case, I take this, go to the equalizer. Okay, I will get rid of some of the very deep here. I don't need that. This is not EDM. I don't need that. I can bring up here something. Where's 120? And I can also bring up this here to have more kick. Because this is the kick in. That means that inside the kick drum, at the drum head, and you really, it depends of if the kicker itself, if the pedal is, for example, from wood or felt or whatever, if it's hard or soft, and you will have more or less. So this is what I do right here. It's just I put something down here because I don't need that. I need some space later for the other instruments. I go to this channel strip, and the next thing is I want to compress this. And since I like to compress after I put the EQ, I change the configuration here. You can do that everywhere. You just grab the compressor and put it after the EQ, and then you're done. So you can change everything here. Let's go to the compressor. Let's take the vintage compressor, which is like an 1176, a very fast compressor. Let's listen to this. Okay. Let's have a little bit compression here. Go 4 to 1. And the attack a little bit higher so we get all the transients coming through. Okay, let's have it like this. Go to the second one. Put them together. Okay, this is the other one that is very, very soft. Let's go to here. The EQ. Okay, you have no hit here, just some bass here. Let's go to the channel strip again, compressor. Let's take also the vintage compressor. Okay. Now this is the outside, okay. In this case, I'm not compressing it too much here, but I'm using this as a makeup gain here. So it's louder here at the output, and I can use it louder, you see here. I can blend it better in with the other one. Okay. Let's take this. And now the fun part is when we all have together here. You hear the hit and you hear the beating. And I have here the kick, the group where everything is together. Looks like this. Okay. little bit much here. And there's this plug-in, or not the plug-in, but in the channel strip, you have under Tools, you have the envelope shaper. With the envelope shaper, you can make the attack louder, or can make it softer, or you can make the decay, the length of the note, more or less. Let me show you like this. Get away from here. You see, I can turn it off, even more of the kick, and release. You hear the rumble, maybe longer. But in this case, it's not working so good, because this is only going on the complete instrument. So what's very interesting is when you take the multi-band transient shaper. Where am I? Or multi-band envelope shaper. So this is what's called a multi-band. So that means each of these or these squares here is a band, like a band pass, like you have on a crossover in your speakers. And so you can shape the sound individually for the different bands. So let's go here, the crossover, just by clicking here, you can shift it. We have here, we see on the left side, 60 Hertz is the fundamental, 120 Hertz is the first octave. So say we want to be right in the middle, then we are at 90. Let's go here, go to 90. Yes, then we have right about 90. Then the next one we have from 2 to 6K is the highs, and this is for the middle. So like this, let's do like this. And the good thing is we can listen to the bands individually. Let's listen to this one, to the high one. You see, this is just the kick. Sounds very odd alone. Let's go to this one here. This is the middle one. The middle one for, say, the small speakers. Now let's go to this. We don't want to have this that long. Sounds odd, I know. But now we go to this here, the deep one. Now we can make this longer. Okay. If we take it too long, then it will go to the next hit. You know, but we can make it almost sound like an 808, or make it a little bit shorter, like this. Okay, from this one, we don't need, it's so long, but I want to have this a little bit longer. I use this only for the length. Together it sounds like this. And what's also very interesting is that here you can turn down or turn up the complete band here, the complete sound, to adjust it to each other. Let me show you here like this. This is, I need the span here. I need the span here. Then we go to the back to the multiband, play this. And now you see this is too loud here. The second one. And this is also a little bit too loud. Can use like an equalizer and can turn this up. So now put it all together. So now let's blend all the other drums in. I'm starting with, where's my drum, where's my snare? Let's go here, okay. Good, this is my drums group, put it to 0. And then I turn all that down here. Okay. So what we have now is first the kick drum. I use my drum, my group track here to find some basic volume for that. So be here a little bit more, okay, like this, the group a little bit. So we have some left, some headroom left, we're not too high, go a little bit down. Okay, now we go to the snare, to bring in top and low snare. I like the sound of the snare like it is right now. So just leave it a moment. I can go back to this anytime. The only thing that I want to change is also use the multiband. The multiband, where is it? Didn't write it wrong. Write it wrong. Band. Envelope shaper here. Go to solo the snare. Normally the basic sound of the snare is between 150 and 200 hertz. We have seen that when I showed you the phase cancellation, that were about 200 hertz. And although the snare, the high sound, is somewhere in that 2K or 5K range. So just let this go and listen. With solo. Okay, we don't need that. We also got rid of that in the equalizer already. The second one is the basic hit. That was about, I think, 200. Give it a little bit more kick here. Or pronounce it. And shorten it a bit. Then we go to the high sound. You hear that rattling of that strings. Okay. Make it a little bit more excited, everything a little bit shorter, everything. What do we have here? Okay, nothing, I think. Okay, let's see. Should be a little bit more tight. No? You hear the hits more. Okay. Blend it in. So this is the top microphone. So you hear it right, you see? The bottom, the highs. Click. Okay. Then we take as next microphone the overhead and just blend it in. So in this case, we don't need the lows here. We need the highs. Okay, so this in the overhead, which are above the drum set, you have the highs and you have the cymbal and the hi-hat. We don't have a dedicated hi microphone here in this setup. So that's it. And the next thing we use, and then we're almost done with this, is the rack tom and the floor tom. And in this case, let me go here where we can loop a part, which is here. This is not synced to my beats per minute, and it's not arranged in any kind, and the drums are not cut. So it's not on the grid. Don't worry about that. It's not on the grid. It's just like they played it live. So we need this one. Okay. Turn off the grid. Okay, where's my drums going? Oh yeah, put them down here. Okay, in this case here we leave it like it is. We just take a noise gate. Or just, maybe it's called gate. So we are on the rack here. That's okay. Or down, not too wide. So like this. A little bit of the highs here to give it a little bit more kick. Okay, this is about 1.5. And now one trick is to use the same frequency on the other drum. So that the kick, the stick itself sounds the same. So let's go here, go to the floor, we copy this over and just change it. Go here. Okay, we set 1.5. Okay, so we can use this here. Okay, let's go. So we need a little bit more kick. Okay, you hear a little bit of the horns and the snare, but that's okay. Now we go to the percussion. Not very much to do here for the percussion. We just put them left and right. So this is here, you see that. Where is that? Here, like this. We're in the middle. Percussion overhead. Okay, a bit more in the middle. Left, right, and percussion overhead like this. And then let me solo this. Okay. So let's go here. Let's unmute it. Solo it. So we blend this in with the drums. So it's important, you always have to listen to your kick drum and your snare that they're really hitting hard. Okay, so that's for about that. Now we go to the horns. We have one horn that's called the sousaphone, which is a bass horn, and we are using this as a bass sound. So let's go here and unmute this one. Let's go here. See, okay. So what we do here is we just, okay, we look at it. Here, that's okay. Again, I compress after my EQ. Okay. So now you hear the bass here on the sousaphone. Okay, now we have to find the other part of the horns. Okay, in this case, now that we are here, I'm going to cut these things because those horn players are singing also. So while they are playing their horns, they cannot sing. So I go here. I know that in the beginning there's a horn part like this. So what I do here, I take this here. My grid is off, and so I just erase this. Now we can cut everything except for the sousaphone because we need that. This is the one here. That's so. Let me go here. Now we cut this and this and this and this and this and this. And then we go until they start to sing, which is here. So we cut this, cut this, cut this, cut this, cut this, cut this. Okay, this is the horn parts, like this. Now we start with the horn part here again. So we go then to the end of the horn part and cut here again. Keep the sousaphone for the bass. And here we have some solo from the saxophone coming in. And at the end of the solo, the rest of the horns are coming in. So like this. So this is just like cleaning up the tracks. So until the very end. And so we do the same then later with the vocals. So go here, we take this part here and cycle it. So now we have the sousaphone. Now we have the sousaphone only. Then I have the trombones here and 2 saxophones and the trumpets. Because one of the trumpet player is the main singer, I will keep that trumpets fairly in the middle, and I will put the trombones here to the side. I'm going to show you. To the side here. Left, hard left, half left. The saxophone here, half left. And complete. Oh, this is. Let me check what I have here. The trombone 1, 2, saxophone. Okay, left and right. The saxophone. This is half left and full left here, like this. A little more like this, and a little more in the middle. We keep the sousaphone in the middle because it's the bass, and then we have the trumpet here. Trumpet here, which you see we do a little to the side, and the other trumpet a little to this side. So that's it. So we have everything in our group. We first mix it the volume wise in the group, and then we put in the group some compressor on it and some reverb to make everything blend together. So this is too far out. With the 2 horns, the trombones, saxophones. So these are all the horns together. A little bit clearer here. Get rid of some of the noise here. Okay. So in this case we take the standard compressor. A higher ratio to blend everything a little bit together. And as a reverb, we are using, take this, we're using some kind of plate, or it takes the studio. Okay, not import. We take one from Cubase, browse, let's see, a plate. Yeah, let's take a short one, plate at 2 seconds, and turn it down here, because we want only a little bit. So I have this everything on the group, and later we just check if the volume is okay. Now we go to the beginning again and do almost the same then for the vocals. Let's go back to here. Okay. Let's listen what's happening here. Okay, I think someone is talking in the beginning. Okay, someone is talking in the beginning, doesn't matter. We need that later, so we go here, cut it here, and we cut it here, and erase this where the horns are playing. Then we go to the next horn part. There's this guy saying horns here. And you can see that are still some in the trumpet and in the vocals. You can see that there are still some bleed from the other microphones. Here you see he's starting to sing, and here you see he's stopping playing, so you have to be careful with that. here, here, here. Not to cut too much, because it will cut then performance. This is live, so there are some wrong tones also that they didn't catch. Maybe some of you already heard one or two that were wrong. It's only one or two places where there is a note that's not exactly what it should be. Let me just check what's here. Okay. Everybody say yeah. That's the yeah part. So let's get rid of that noise in the middle. And at the end, there's the horns again. So we can clear everything up. I mean, you can do all that also with the automation, with that detect silence or just automate it. But I like to have everything cut, so it's very clear to me and I can see where I am. Okay, so let's go to the vocals here and unmute this. So now the main vocal is here. It's in the no, gonna go away. The main vocals is here. I can see, I think the trumpet here, this trumpet player is the main vocal. So let's address this first. It's a live performance, so it doesn't matter if it's a little bit rough or a little bit edgy, everything. So let's go here. We gonna make it scream, we gonna make it shout, we gonna turn this funky dogs party out. We want to make it a little bit clearer. Want to go this. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. And then we put here again the compressor. We take the tube here just for fun. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. Only 1 or 2 dB down here. Let's go to the other part here. So the first part where it's singing the first melody. So we have a fast attack, rhythm release, a little bit output here. So that's what I do in this case. And now I do something most people don't like to do, but I do that a lot. I just copy this over. Just go here. And let me see where it was. I always got lost here. Copy first selected tracks channel. Now I copied all these. And then I go to vocal bone and go to paste. And I go to paste again. Paste again. Because I'm lazy. Paste again. And I paste this again. And then let's listen. Let's solo the vocals. Let's listen if something is odd. So I have now the EQ on every channel the same. And also I have the compressor on every channel the same. But this only works if you have roughly the same volume here. So now you have to be careful and listen to if there are any distortion or whatever. Okay, we have a lot of microphone bleed, but that doesn't from the instruments, from the drums, but it does matter here. I can cut that, but this is a live performance, so it's okay. So let's take that vocal group. And in the vocal group, also a little bit down here and down here. And also the group, the complete group will be then also compressed. In this case, we take that vintage compressor again, and only a little bit. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gonna rock this party. Let's get it. So with medium attack, it's like a bus compressor, medium attack, fast release, like a bus compressor. So this is this, and then we take a little room. So just to keep everything a little bit in a room. So this is here. Let's take, what do we have here? Maybe we find a hole will be too much, maybe. A plate, yes. A bright plate. Okay. Then we mix it here.
It's the place to be. When the vibe is chilling, cause the people are in y'all. It's the place to be. And when you got that good vibe and you got that good feeling.
So what you hear now is that a lot of the bleed from the drums you can hear now because the compressor is pushing that into the vocals. But let's listen to the complete stuff here.
It's the place to be.
Oh, vocals a little bit too loud.
It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans.
And I forgot something. Because the trumpet players are the singers, and though they stand exactly like the trumpets are, so we have to have the trombone to the left. That is here. So just take it to the complete left, and the second one half left, the saxophone half left, sax right, and the trumpets a little bit off. And that should be it.
It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans.
Okay, this guy here on the channel trumpet 2 is the main vocals. So we should bring the other ones a little bit down so we can hear them better. Stop, we need that part here. Here.
It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. And when the people start dancing to the funky dogs rhythm, y'all. When the vibe is
That's the main one.
People are in y'all. It's the place to be. And when you got that good vibe and you got that good feeling, y'all. It's the place to be.
So the second one.
No party like a funky dogs party, y'all. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. It's the place to be.
Okay, that's what we have now. Go to shift. So what's always important for me is to listen to the beginning of the song, because this is what catches the ear of your listener. So you go to the beginning and you make sure that in the beginning everything is really pumping, is really giving that excitement that your listener wants. So let's hear. So in this case, I think I need a little bit more snare here, a little bit louder snare on the beginning, like this. So what I do here very often is I just automate this. So we have the snare here. This is the snare. So I take my range tool, like this, and find that range, that here. Okay, and then I go here and just push it a little up here. That's the automation of the volume here. So I have a louder snare here for some dB. Oh! Another thing I was missing, we need a little bit of reverb on the snare, though. This is the snare. Let's solo this. So, what do we take here? Revelation, doesn't matter. Okay. So, drums. Cave warm, what is this? No. Oh yeah, I have to hold this here. Now I need the longer one. Large studio bright. Okay.
We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the.
Okay, we need a little bit more on the drums. A little bit more on the drums. That's like here. Just get a little push on the drums here.
The place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be.
So this is almost it. Now we're going to the last part, which I call that fake mastering. Whenever you send something to a client over, you should use some kind of mastered sound. And to do so, I'm using my mix bus here. This is my mix bus here. And I'm using three things. First, I start with a compressor. I take that normal compressor. So let me turn that off for a moment. Then I take frequency. So, as an equalizer. And then I take the maximizer. The maximizer. Let's turn this off. So we start with this one here and use it as a bus compressor. Just a little bit. You need fast attack. Excuse me. You need slow attack, fast release, 2x1 or 4x1, and only 2 to 4 dBs of grain reduction. So put this on. So we have 2x1 here. So the attack we go to 30, so all the transients go through. Release fast. This is just to glue all things together a little bit. Then we go to frequency, which is very important for me, because here the first band I'm using not in stereo like this, but I use that in main side, in mid side. I put in mid side, so I have two controls here, one for the mids and one for the side. And I don't want bass in my mids, so what I do in this case is I cut it, and I can show you. Just listen to what's. I don't want bass in my side. Excuse me. Wrong. I don't want bass in my side. Just put this away. Don't want bass in my side. So if I click here on side, it will change. So I go to cut 48. And when I sweep it up now, you will hear how it changes. Okay?
It's the place to be. It's cause there ain't no party like a funky dog's party, y'all. It's the place to be. It's the place to be.
Now, almost your mid is gone now. So I cut the bass in the side here. And for the middle part, I also cut here, but with a higher Q. That means I cut the very deep lows and put the Q up so I get this bump a little bit. So I get this bump. Then I make a little bit clearer here, only a little bit at about the 300 range. And then I take this, the high one, and go to high shelf. And start by, say, about 8K or something. And put only a little bit highs in to make it sound a little bit more hi-fi, the whole thing. So let's listen.
It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. And when the people start dancing to the funky dogs rhythm, y'all.
So just to have it a little bit clearer. And the last thing I use here is the maximizer to make it mastered loud sound.
It's the place to be. When the vibe is chilling, cause the people are illin', y'all. It's the place to be. And when you got that good vibe and you got that good feeling, y'all. It's the place to be.
Now this without the maximizer.
Party like a funky dog's party, y'all. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. It's the place to
So,
be. We gon' rock this party.
that's what I call the fake mastering. First I use something for glue compressor, for gluing it all together as a bus compressor. Then I use frequency to make the frequencies a little bit more hi-fi. And then I use the maximizer just to get that push in the volume. Let me check my frequency again.
Like New Orleans. And when the people start dancing to the funky dogs rhythm,
Okay.
y'all. It's the place to be. When the vibe is chilling, cause the people are illin', y'all.
Okay, we have the bass here. We have a little bit clearness here because we have nothing here except for the voices that are here and some highs here. Maybe a little bit too much. Maybe I should go a little less here on the 8K. So that's it. Let's go here. Let's go to the loudest parts of the song just to double check. Here. Let's go this here. Turn it down at my speakers so you don't hear that. Okay, and we have the solo here. In the second part of the solo, I think he's using some like guitar effects, like stomp boxes he has.
It's the place to
the wah-wah.
It's the place to be. It's the place to be.
Okay. We don't have, do we have some reverb? I think only the room works. Okay. Yeah, that's okay because it's a live performance. We can have the room here. So that's it. Now let's hear the whole piece. And what I do in this case is I let you hear the whole piece, and I'm exporting it as audio export, and I'm importing it then as the rough mix. I don't think, let me check again, by level, okay. So it won't overload your OBS, then you will hear it. And what I do in this case is I use that real-time export. So that makes, okay, go here. Set the project name. Okay, always override. I use wave. And here I use real-time export. And that means it's not rendering in the back and calculating, but it's playing the whole song in real time and you can listen to it. Okay? And now let's listen to the whole song and see how it sounds. Listen for the kick drum and the snare. That's the most important part for me. And the horns. And the next step after this, but we don't do that today, would be to refine it. Since this is a live version, we don't have to do too much, but maybe some of the individual parts of the horns are too loud or not loud enough, or of the vocals, so we have to have some automation, and that's about it. So I turned on my microphone here, so I can crank up my speakers and you won't be affected. So now you can listen to the whole song mixed in. Yes. Okay, now we have this problem. This problem I had in this version of Cubase before, and also Reggie had that when you render it, it gets stuck somehow. So I saved it, but it doesn't matter. I'll just go kill it and put it up again. Hope it will. And audio is not working. Can take a moment. Now you should hear me again. Now go to the control room. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, looks like it did. Okay. Now let's see. Okay, we can hear that again, but we don't have that for you. So I have to change it here. Wait a minute. I don't know why it got stuck. Takes a moment. So send audio to local broadcast. Oops.
This party like New Orleans.
Okay, now you hear it again. And now I can play it from the top. I'm not exporting it here. I'm saving it. I'm playing it. Hope you hear my voice. If not, put it in the chat. And yeah, let's play it from the top. I turn off my microphone again. And okay, let's.
What's up, everybody? We're the Funky Dogs at Telefunken Studios, and we're gonna play a song off our album called Place to Be. You're now rocking with the Funky Dogs brass band.
It's the place to be.
The very best brass band on the bandstand.
It's the place to be.
You're now rocking with the Funky Dogs brass band.
It's the place to be.
The funkiest brass band on the bandstand.
It's the place to be.
When the drums start hitting and the club gets kicking, y'all.
It's the place to be.
When the beat is bumping and the bass is thumping, y'all.
It's the place to be.
Yeah, and when the bodies are shaking cause the horns are cranking, y'all.
It's the place to be.
It's cause there ain't no party like a Funky Dogs party, y'all.
It's the place to be.
It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. And when the people start dancing to the Funky Dogs rhythm, y'all.
It's the place to be.
When the vibe is chillin' cause the people are illin', y'all.
It's the place to be.
And when you got that good vibe and you got that good feeling, y'all.
It's the place to be.
It's cause there ain't no party like a Funky Dogs party, y'all.
It's the place to be.
It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. Dogs brass band bumping in your ear now. Big fat brass sound hit you in the face, pal. We bring the party in the beat that move your feet. We can take this funky party out to the funky street. Ooh, what you gonna do? The Funky Dogs brass band coming for you. We gon' make you scream, we gon' make you shout. We gon' turn this Funky Dogs party out. It's the place to be, it's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be, it's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be, it's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be, it's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. Tell me. Now everybody say yeah, yeah. Say yeah, yeah. Say yeah, yeah. Say yeah, yeah. Everybody, it's the place to be.
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 So yeah, music.
What's up, everybody? We're the Funky Dogs.
My microphone was off. Okay, so music is all about having fun. And it's really fun listening to music, making music, and being a part of the process of making music. In this case, I'm only a part of making the music sound good so that you, as a listener, really can enjoy this music. And this is a band from, I don't know, exactly where they're from, somewhere in the States, St. Louis or something. And if you should support your local bands, especially in these days right now. Okay, so what did I do today? I started with nothing, just the tracks imported. Then the first thing I did, I addressed the phase issues that we have here with 2 microphones in the snare, so changing the phase and also changing a little bit the overhead, shifting a little bit so it's more tight. Then I used the detect silence to get that kick drum more prominent, and the percussion I put left and right everywhere, and put the horns together then and put them in one room, and also put the vocals in one room. This is today more live stream for people who are working in a studio or want to make their own studio and want to work with other people and want to mix their music. Sometimes you have to mix fast. That means you are recording like this. I mixed bands like this, or performed or recorded bands like this 5 songs in 2 days. So you have Saturday, you have Sunday. They are not professional musicians. They only have the weekend. They come to your studio. They want to make 5 songs. So you are tracking on Saturday, recording everything, working or mixing on Sunday. And this way, if you do that, you have to work fast. You have to find a sound that fits to all of their songs. So that's it for the part of mixing in 60 minutes. Let me go back to this here. So what did we do today? Okay, the mix live drums without samples. Too many people, in my opinion. And also Glenn Fricker from Spectra Sound Studios, from his YouTube channel, is always complaining about that, especially in metal, are touching or reaching out for samples for the drums very fast. If you have a good drummer with a good drum set, even if you have a not so good drummer with not so good drum set, you can achieve a lot. And more important, it will make you different. It will be your own sound. It's not the sample all the others used from Slate drum replacer, for example. So we mixed the horns as a group and the vocals as a group, and we did some phase mastering. So this way you can mix 5 songs in one Sunday or one day. If you then now go and if you have the setup, for example, for the microphones, all the same for all the 5 songs for the drums, you just copy the things over and tweak a little bit, and that's it. Let's go back next week making a hip-hop beat. Again, let's see how this turns up. This is different because, as I said before, Reggie told me, hey, hiyo, thank you. This is different. Reggie told me, hey, why don't you tell your viewers what kind of music you are doing, so you appeal the right people. So if you are interested in that kind of music, hip-hop, I'm going to make a classic hip-hop beat. I will make my own sample. I'm not using a sample that is from somewhere or from the Cubase library. I just play some instruments, will make them sound like on vinyl or old. Then I will use this and chop that sample in Groove Agent, use some bass, use some 808 sounds from Cubase. I'm going to release a new video every Wednesday, a short video where I explain something. I think the next one will be how you can use the 808 sounds in Cubase, because there are 808 sounds in Cubase. You only have to find them. They are not in Groove Agent. And we'll see how this turns out. And I'm going to make a schedule for the next 5, 3, 4, maybe 4 weeks, and going to put that up on that YouTube channel or on the next show that I'm doing. So I hope to see you. It was fun. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked the idea. What for me was important was the idea you can mix real drums if you know how, and the multiband transient shaper is a very, very good tool in Cubase. It can really get you a really good sound for drums like this. You can use it also for EDM or hip hop or whatever, just to make a long-lasting bass drum, kick drum for 808 or whatever. So thank you for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I will stay on the chat for another minutes, 3 to 4 minutes. I will run that again a little bit in the background. That's a little background, so I can crank it up here a little bit. It was nice to see you. Hi from Bulgaria. Nikolai, thank you for tuning in. And hope to see you next time. I hope it was useful for you and was an inspiration. So go to the Telefunken site. It's Telefunken USA. You can find it in Google. It's Telefunken with a U. Electroacoustic. Now it's an US company. It used to be a German or Austrian company. And they make really great microphones, and the tracks are from there. And they have a lot of recordings there where you can download the tracks and practice. And especially practice to mix live drums. Because if you know that, this is what will separate you from all the others. If you really want to make your own studio, want to work with all kind of producers, and maybe if you're into rock or whatever, if you know how to mix drums without using samples, you can really separate from all the other guys. If you're into EDM or in hip-hop or whatever, and using only electronic sounds, it doesn't matter if you know that. Maybe it's useful for you too. So, thank you again for tuning in. See you next time. See you next Saturday, 7:30 p.m. German time. It's already up there, so hit subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment, send me a mail at harald@hiddenroom.de. And thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Funky Dogs at Telefunken Studios, and we're gonna play a song off our album called Place to Be. You're now rocking with the Funky Dogs brass band.
It's the place to be.
The very best brass band on the bandstand.
It's the place to be.
You're now rocking with the Funky Dogs brass band.
It's the place to be.
The funkiest brass band on the bandstand.
It's the place to be.
When the drums start hitting and the club gets kicking, y'all.
It's the place to be.
When the beat is bumping and the bass is thumping, y'all.
It's the place to be.
Yeah, and when the bodies are shaking cause the horns are cranking, y'all.
It's the place to be.
It's cause there ain't no party like a Funky Dogs party, y'all.
It's the place to be.
It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. And when the people start dancing to the Funky Dogs rhythm, y'all.
It's the place to be.
When the vibe is chillin' cause the people are illin', y'all.
It's the place to be.
And when you got that good vibe and you got that good feeling, y'all.
It's the place to be.
It's cause there ain't no party like a Funky Dogs party, y'all.
It's the place to be.
It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. Dogs brass band bumping in your ear now. Big fat brass sound hit you in the face, pal. We bring the party in the beat that move your feet. We can take this funky party out to the funky street. Ooh, what you gonna do? The Funky Dogs brass band coming for you. We gon' make you scream. We gon' make you shout. We gon' turn this Funky Dogs party out. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. Tell me.
Funky Dogs at Telefunken Studios, and we're gonna play a song off our album called Place to Be.